Steve Keen. I've been a critic of economics for 45 years, and I'm delighted to see that being a critic has become a rather more widespread occupation than it was in my youth. First of all, it's realising that the other model got it wrong, not because it was an exogenous shock, but because there were forces in capitalism that the mainstream way of thinking, looking at the world, completely ignored. So we have to go back to saying, let's build a structural model of the economy. Let's not talk about hypothetical utility maximising agents. Let's look at the actual structures that determine what happens in a capitalist economy. It is fundamentally firms trying to make a profit and borrowing money to finance investment when they do it, workers simply trying to earn a wage, and interactions between the group that cause cyclical dynamics in capitalism. There's an entire tradition of analysing this going right back to Marx, to Schumpeter, to Minsky, through Goodwin. There's another literature that's ignored by the mainstream, and they've ignored what matters in economics, and it's time we went back and learned from people who see capitalism as inherently cyclical and unstable system, as Minsky did. So there's a foundation to build on, and it's a foundation based on realism of the structure of the economy rather than fantasy. I think Rethinking Economics brings us enthusiasm and energy, because you are the first generation to live through a financial crisis since the Great Depression. But you have had an economics which argued such things couldn't happen taught to you. And now you've got a level of cognitive dissonance between what you've been taught at university and what you've seen happening in the real world. And unfortunately, your university professors, most of them, are going to continue spouting that way of thinking, because it's become a comfortable intellectual framework for them, in the same way that Ptolemy's vision of epicycles and equants and deference was the way that astronomers thought about the universe until a long time as Copernicus. Your Copernican moment was the financial crisis. The people who need to deal with that are the people who make practical use of economic theory, and they are fundamentally institutions like the OECD, the IMF, the United Nations, central banks around the world. They're the ones who have to actually manage the global economy, and they are the ones who are more likely to be supporting the sort of work you're doing than the university. So I see you as really making a concordance between the youth who've seen the real world not function the way the theory said it does, and the so-called practical managers who believe the theories were themselves led astray. I can see a union between the youth energy you've got and the need to be pragmatic that those organisations have, reforming and changing the university from the outside.